I always start the same way. Congratulations, I'm a genie. You got 3 wishes. They always wish for wealth and power. Different variations of those, but always relating to those. I want a pony. I want to be CEO. But then I always stop them after 2. New genies have to come from somewhere. In they go, into the lamps, forever doomed to be fulfilling the wishes of others. They can be CEO and have their pony, but they can never enjoy it in the lamp. In there, your only wish is to get out. But I stopped listening. Sometimes when you hear the word monster, you think of a disgusting creature that gobbles up children, a being that devours souls in the night and leaves you a sack of emotionless mess. When I think of the word monster, I think of a human being whose job is to make you feel like you have no meaning in the world, a being that tells you you have no future and that you have no life ahead of now. My monster is a creature that I see every day against my own wishes, having to watch and listen to this being as they tell me I am useless. For me, my monster is a teacher. They say war never changes. There have been many wars turning brother against brother, fathers against children, lovers on each other. The reality is, war has changed. The war now is against ourselves. Take a step back, calm yourself, listen. Do you hear the voices? Are your thoughts making your brain connect to your actions? Are they your thoughts or are they your orders? How long will you disobey the orders? You can only hold out for so long, soldier. Hopefully I'll be able to slip it into her drink tonight. She looked extra beautiful this time. Her hair, her eyes, especially her sparkly dress. She smiled at me and had some more wine. I looked around. In a way I will miss her. Strange feeling to have, really. But if I do this, I will finally be able to do what I want. I will be the first to escape from her house alive. The red cyclops eye of baby monitor glows in the darkness of her room, flickering each time a wail pierces its speakers. She remains in bed despite the incessant sound. Maybe the strain of motherhood has finally taken its toll on her, causing her to ignore her child and return to sleep. Or maybe it's the fact that her child had been dead for 3 days, screaming for 2. Oh, listen, I say, let me tell you the way. See, it's always hard, unless you have a big yard, room to dig and to bury and to hide what you've done. After you've slashed through their skin and their muscle and bone, listen to this, try what I say. Surely you know there's a better way. Wait for winter and wait for the snow. Go where the icicles hang sharp and low. Sneak up behind them and go for their heart, or their neck or their head, any old part. The ice will melt, no weapon will be found, no proof besides water upon the dry ground. Go out and try it, I promise it's fun. 10 bodies to count, and I'm not halfway done. Little Miss Horner sat on a corner, demons had crawled in her mind. What feelings she had were riddled with mad, insanity newly defined. Time became endless, life became friendless, She passed in the dark of alone. The words she once said were ghosts in her head, dead whispers from somewhere unknown. Screaming caressed her, dreaming obsessed her, nothing was nothing yet more. Black became only something less lonely, a heaven she couldn't ignore.
You see, I'm not like the other monsters. Yes, I scare people. Yes, I haunt people. Yes, I corrupt people. But I'm not a monster. I actually help them get you. I help them scare you, haunt you, corrupt you. I am your mind, and there is nothing you can do to stop me from letting them tear you apart. Ever get that feeling as if you aren't alone or someone is watching you? Well, I always got that feeling, all the time. Somebody told me if you get a cat they can ward off evil spirits, so naturally I got one. His name was Marley, and he would always stare at me without taking his eyes off of me, no matter where I went. Sitting on the couch he stared at me, cooking in the kitchen he stared at me, laying in bed he stared at me, until one day I realized something. He wasn't staring at me, he was staring behind me.
Do you ever have that embarrassing moment where you mistaken a stranger as your ex? I know I have. In fact, I see him in every single person I come in contact with. I guess it makes sense considering I smell his very blood coursing through all their veins. To think of how angry it makes me that he got the luxury of mortality, while I, banished from the garden, never was given the chance to bite that apple. Try not to blame me if we ever have the displeasure of meeting. Thousands of years of wandering the earth has not done well to a girl's image or her humanity. I just can't help but sink my claws into whoever I might mistake as my dear Adam.
We know the truth, for we are the guilt and shame that burdens you when you lie. But oh please, don't let that stop you. We love when you sit there and tell those little lies. It makes us stronger. We are born from your first lie, and by the time you are old, we are strong enough to attack. The only lie you should worry about is the lie that death is natural, because death has been around just as long as lying. Lucky for us, no one has connected the two.
The bubbles stopped appearing. Finally, she was finally dead, drowned in the tub. It had taken him a while, but he'd finally given her what she wanted, what she'd asked of him. A crack echoed as her head popped up from the water, breaking the surface for the 7th time. She pushed her red fiery hair away from over her eyes, smiled at him and whispered, "Again." He smiled right back.
Fire is a beautiful gift. Nothing can deny its grace as it dances alongside the moonlight and deprives the world of its natural darkness. Its majesty as it flickers immensely, sucking in oxygen and breathing like you and me. The warm presence comforts me as it slowly spreads, consuming the obsolete that interrupts. The bliss is a tiny flicker of light that I bestowed upon the world evolves into a raging inferno. The screams of pure ecstasy. The children should be overjoyed that they can feel the flames, for this gift is truly breathtaking.
I made sure that they didn't suffer as they slipped into a fatal sleep. After all, my father and brother took care of me my whole life. They gave me everything I needed or could ever want. So when the judge sentenced me to a women's state prison, I tried my hardest to conceal my smile. I waited 10 years to make sure I could be tried as an adult and sent to the same prison my mother is in. You see, I'm not a monster, but my mother is, and boy do I have plans for her. I love my little indoor plant garden. I have tomatoes in these pots here, onions on the opposite wall, and garlic is on that wall over there. Gardening is so peaceful. I can talk to my plants, marvel at them, or just sit and meditate with them. They are my friends, and I am theirs. They are so much better than human company. They don't judge me. They don't laugh at me. A scream from the outside world shatters my thoughts, and they don't eat me either. He is in my house. I don't think he has noticed me yet. I approach him carefully and slowly. I try to be as silent as I can, but suddenly the floor begins to creak. I think he started to notice me. I stop and I stare at the back of his head. I can feel his spine tingling and his back hair rising. I don't want to hurt him. However, he is in my house. If you turn around, I will take you. I never really received my father's love. Don't get me wrong though, he was a good father, fulfilled all his duties towards me, made my life as easy and comfortable as he could. But still there was no affection there, no love. You see, my mother died a few hours after giving birth. My father kind of blamed me for her death. Technically it's true though. I was the reason that she died. But I still don't think it's right to say that it was my fault. I clearly remember telling my parents time and time again that I didn't want any siblings. They call it sea-star wasting syndrome, a relatively unknown disease that causes the arms of a starfish to twist into knots, tear away from the body, and crawl away. Me and the other marine biologists in our little team have been studying it for some time now. We theorize that it can't be contagious. It doesn't seem to spread between unaffected starfish, so obviously it can't be spread to other species. At least, that's what we thought. Waking up to see your fingers curled backwards and your arm violently tearing away from your shoulder might disprove such thoughts.